When my female coworkers called me crazy, I quietly installed cameras. 3 months later the CEO called me a traitor, but then my recording played on the big boardroom screen, and the same woman was exposed as the one who had come all the way to my house. Traitor. Nolan Price said that word to me in the boardroom. 14th floor. Glass walls. A frozen sales chart on the big screen. Jenna sat to my left, CFO Olivia Grant to my right, and the CEO sat across from me like firing me on the spot was his favorite hobby. You betrayed the company, Ava. I didn't drink the water. I opened my laptop. Good, I said. Then the truth will be on the record too. My name is Ava Mercer. I'm 34 years old. I was the director of internal risk at an Austin consumer tech company called Lattice House. My job was simple. Find the lies inside the numbers, follow the access trails, and ask the questions polite people avoided. Nolan Price. 47. Camera-friendly smile. Investor-friendly lies. Vanessa Hale. 39. Chief of Staff. Cream blazer, measured voice and badge access to every locked room. Jenna Blake. 31. Creative lead. Sweet to your face, poison behind your back. Brianna Cole. 33. Cheer partner. Every problem got the same answer from her. Let's not escalate. Tessa Moore. 40. Operations. A gossip machine. If the office caught fire, she'd be the first one taking pictures. And Olivia Grant. 45. She didn't say much, but when she did, it landed either in your chest or in the legal record. At first, the things happening to me were small. So small that if I'd made a scene right away, everyone would have said the same thing. She's unstable. One morning I opened my desk drawer and found my college graduation photo inside. That picture had been in the blue storage box in the hallway closet at my house. I shut the drawer again. Then I called Jenna over. Did you put this here? She laughed. Why would I have your graduation photo? I'd love to know that too. Tessa wandered over. She looked at the picture, then at me. Girl, that's creepy. Yeah, I said. It is. She sipped her coffee and shrugged. Or maybe you brought it in yourself and forgot. I stared at her. You think I took my own picture from home, hid it in my desk and then scared myself with it? She lifted one shoulder. Stress does weird things. That was the first day the word stress was used against me. After that, files started changing. Timestamps on reports shifted. Tabs disappeared from locked folders. Risk notes got edited. One Friday I saved a final memo on refund exposure. Monday morning I opened it again and a crucial paragraph was gone. I messaged IT. Who accessed folder R17 after 8 p.m. Friday. The reply came back. No external breach detected. I wrote back internal. Then silence. At lunch that day I was carrying my tray through the cafeteria when Jenna said something loud enough for me to hear. Some women don't need a saboteur. They just need sleep. People laughed. I stopped walking. Explain the joke to me too. Brianna jumped in with her HR voice. Ava, no one is talking about you. I looked at Tessa. Really? Tessa picked up a fry. You make everything about you. Because it usually is about me. Jenna gave me a fake little smile full of concern. Maybe take a wellness day. Maybe take accountability, I said. 2 weeks later I found a folded sticky note tucked under my windshield wiper. Stop digging. That was it. I took a picture, emailed Brianna, and used the subject line harassment escalation. She sat me down in a glass conference room and asked, do you feel unsafe? If my files are being tampered with, anonymous notes are showing up and something from my home ends up in my office drawer, then yes. Do you have proof a coworker did it? Pull the badge logs. Pull the camera footage. Pull the access reports. She kept turning her pen in her fingers. Without proof, accusing colleagues can damage morale. That was when I understood it. HR wasn't a wall. It was a curtain. The real show started at the Friday preview meeting. It was the board preview for the Target holiday campaign. The numbers were mine. I had locked the final file. That morning Nolan opened the deck on the screen, and the revenue forecast on the third slide was inflated. The refund risk was gone. The executive spin was clean. The data was dirty. Nolan asked in front of everyone, Ava signed off on this? No. Vanessa spoke up from the corner. The file came from your folder. Then someone altered it. Jenna said under her breath, here we go. Nolan leaned back in his chair. Are you saying someone broke into your work again? Yes, I said plain and clear. Tessa laughed. What next? A ghost with Excel. 2 people laughed. Then 3. Nolan tried to hide his smile. Take the weekend, Ava, he said. Reset. You should reset your access controls, I told him. That same evening I got home and found an Amazon package on my porch that had been sliced open with clean, careful precision. Nothing was missing. It had just been opened. Like somebody only wanted to know whether I would notice. I checked the whole house. Kitchen. Bedroom. Pause. Then the bathroom. My hairbrush was sitting on the other side of the counter from where I always left it. It was a tiny thing. But it wasn't where it belonged. That was the night I made my decision. I ordered a Ring doorbell. 2 indoor motion cameras. 1 tiny magnetic office cam. An audio recorder. And a dash cam. On Monday Jenna stopped me in the hallway. You okay? Better than the person touching my stuff. She stepped closer. People are worried. People? Or you people? She smiled. This is why. That same afternoon I heard my name outside the women's wellness room. There were 4 voices inside. Tessa said, she's not normal. Jenna said, she keeps staring at people. Brianna said, I documented concerns. And then Vanessa's soft, cold voice cut through the rest. Don't argue with her. Stay calm and let her unravel. I didn't walk in. I went to the restroom instead. I stood in front of the mirror and said one word to myself. Receipts. I've always been an outsider. Bartender's daughter from Detroit. College on scholarship. 2 jobs. Accounting degree. Notes spread out in laundry rooms. More stamina than charm. I don't have a problem with people who are smarter than I am. I have a problem with polished people who think a quiet woman is an easy target. At Lattice House the culture deck said transparency. The real rule was something else. If you were inside Vanessa's circle you were safe. If you asked questions you were difficult. That was exactly why they had hired me in the first place. Vendor spending was messy. Reimbursement lines were fuzzy. Executive approvals looked suspicious. During my interview Nolan had told me, I need someone who isn't afraid to be unpopular. I had said, then you need me. 2 months later I was unpopular and suddenly that quality bothered him. The rumors were ready too. People said I'd been obsessive at my previous job. The truth was that at a company in Phoenix I had uncovered fake reimbursements. 2 VPs were forced out. I left too, but I left clean. At Lattice House the story got twisted into something else. Ava burns bridges. Ava gets paranoid. Ava sees plots everywhere. A fake Instagram account followed me. Then it posted a photo of the lobby of my apartment building. No caption. I took a screenshot. In the office I hid the small camera behind a fake plant on the bookshelf. I mounted another one under the base of my desk lamp. At home I put up the doorbell cam, a hallway cam and a motion camera on the shelf by my printer. Yes, by my printer, because one night at 2 in the morning it had turned on by itself. Paper fed through. Nothing printed. The first 4 days I got nothing. On the 5th night at 11:43 p.m., the office cam picked up movement. Vanessa. Cream blazer. Hair clip. Badge in her hand. She walked straight to my desk, opened the drawer, went through my files, touched the laptop dock, wrote something on a sticky note, left it on my keyboard and scanned the room before she walked out. The note was there the next morning. You should have left this alone. I didn't say anything. I saved the clip. Uploaded it to the cloud. Copied it to an external drive. Sent a duplicate to a lawyer friend. 2 nights later at 1:14 a.m., my Ring app went off. I looked at my phone. Vanessa was standing on my porch. She was wearing a cap but her face was clear. She lifted the doormat. Looked inside the planter. Leaned toward the side window to peer in. Then she held her phone to her ear and said, she's not leaving backups outside. The audio was low. Didn't need to be perfect. It was enough. I sat straight up in bed and said very quietly, got you. The next week Olivia Grant showed up at my office door. Walk with me. We went down to level 3 of the parking garage. Signal was always bad down there. Secrets were not. She stopped near a concrete pillar and looked at me. You're looking at the wrong women. Not really. Jenna, Tessa, Brianna. Useful idiots. Not the architect. Then who? Vanessa. I said nothing. Olivia pulled a stack of printouts from her bag. Vendor invoices. Northreach Consulting had been paid $1.8 million over 9 months. The approval chain ran straight through Nolan's office. The services were vague. The outcomes were invisible. Owner? I asked. He handed me the next page. Texas filing record. Registered agent. An 82-year-old woman. Vanessa's aunt. Nursing home address. I looked up. You're serious? Very. Why bring this to me? Because someone is cleaning trails, she said. And because Vanessa requested your after-hours badge map and your emergency contact file. My face went cold. Why what? Olivia didn't blink. She's not mocking you. She's managing risk. You are the risk. That was where the first twist snapped into place. Until then I thought I was being bullied. Pushed out. Messed with. Humiliated. That's not what it was. I was standing in the path of fraud, and the gaslighting wasn't just cruelty. It was strategy. I asked Olivia only one question. When is the board risk committee meeting? 3 weeks. Good. That night I started building my case. Sticky notes. Porch footage. Fake Instagram screenshots. IT requests. HR emails. Before and after versions of altered files. Northreach invoices. State records. I built it all into a timeline. Then during the state record search I found the second bomb. Nevada marriage record. Nolan Price and Vanessa Hale. Private civil ceremony. 18 months earlier. Zero mention in board disclosures. Conflict forms left blank. I stared at the screen. Then I laughed once under my breath. Not because it was funny. Because it finally made sense. Vanessa wasn't just a fixer. She was the CEO's secret wife. The shell company ran through her family line. The board was being deceived. And turning me into the unstable one was their shield. The next day Jenna leaned in my office doorway. People are saying you're recording stuff. People? I asked. Or Vanessa? Her face tightened. Why are you like this? Because somebody came to my house. Her color changed. Wait. Someone from work. I stayed silent. She lowered her voice. Vanessa told us you'd had episodes before. She said if we engaged you'd escalate. And you believed her. She made it sound serious. You never even tried to find out if it was true. That's the problem. She left without apologizing. I didn't ask for one. At 6:12 on the morning of the board meeting, I sent an encrypted packet to board chair Margaret Ellis and outside counsel Daniel Cho. The subject line read, Protected whistleblower submission. Harassment, fraud, undisclosed conflict. 7 attachments. 1 memo. 1 final line at the bottom. If I am removed today, duplicate copies go outside this company. At 10 a.m. the boardroom was too cold, the coffee was too bitter, and Nolan was far too confident. Vanessa looked unusually calm. Olivia was ready. Brianna looked rigid. Jenna sat in the back row. Nolan went after me before he went over the numbers. Ava Mercer has engaged in unauthorized surveillance, compromised internal trust, and transmitted confidential material outside the company. This is betrayal. Great, I said. Then let's review all of it. Margaret Ellis spoke before he could continue. Ms. Mercer submitted materials this morning. We will review them now. Olivia switched the projector feed. The first clip played. 11:43 p.m. Vanessa in my office. Drawer open. Files touched. Sticky note placed. The room went dead silent. Vanessa said, This is illegal. I looked at her. That's your first concern? The second clip played. 1:14 a.m. Vanessa on my porch. Hand in my planter. Leaning into my window. Whispering into the phone, She's not leaving backups outside. Nolan shot to his feet. Turn this off. Margaret didn't raise her voice. He didn't need to. Sit down. He sat. The third clip was audio only. Vanessa on speakerphone. She's getting suspicious. A male voice answered, I don't care. I want the drive before committee sees Northreach. Daniel Cho turned to Nolan. Is that your voice, Mr. Price? No. I slid a printout forward. Company phone logs. Same minute. Same call length. Vanessa snapped. She manipulated this. I pulled out the next document. Try this one. Nevada marriage record. Nolan Price and Vanessa Hale. Undisclosed spousal relationship. 18 months. Olivia's voice was flat and cold. You lied on governance certifications. Nolan started, "My personal life." I cut him off. When your personal life is attached to a shell vendor, false disclosures, harassment, and someone showing up at my home in the middle of the night, it stops being personal. Brianna suddenly spoke up. Her voice was shaking. Vanessa asked me for Ava's emergency contact update. She said legal needed it. I turned to look at her. And you gave it to her? She nodded. Yes. Margaret looked at Daniel. Record this. Immediate leave for Mr. Price and Ms. Hale. Access revoked pending investigation. Vanessa stood up. You can't do this. Olivia answered for the room. We just did. Security came in. Nolan stopped at the door and turned back toward me. You destroyed this company. No, I said. You did. I just hit play. I thought that was the end of the story. It wasn't. 2 hours later I was sitting in a legal conference room with Daniel, Margaret, and Olivia. Daniel placed an email chain in front of me. Subject: Employee Risk Narrative. Narrative. Such a clean word for such filthy work. Nolan and Vanessa were in the chain. Brianna. But there was another name. Jenna Blake. I read the line once. Then again. If we keep highlighting Ava's volatility, creative team will stop sharing information with her. That should isolate her enough to force resignation. That was the second twist. Jenna wasn't just a follower. She was part of the plan. Margaret asked, "Do you want her removed today as well?" I took 1 second. Yes. At 3:20 p.m. Jenna was escorted out too. On her way past me she stopped. I was trying to protect my team. From what? I asked. The truth. She started crying. You don't know how Vanessa operates. I know exactly how she operates, I said. You just chose the easy side. Then she left. The next week the company called it a leadership transition in the public statement. Corporate English always puts moisturizer on a scandal and calls it skin care. But inside the company things were moving. The independent audit began. Northreach was frozen. The board brought in outside investigators. Brianna resigned. Tessa sent me a text. I should have listened. I didn't answer. Jenna called 3 times. She left 1 voicemail. Ava, I'm sorry. I was scared. I saved it. I didn't delete it. Sometimes even an apology feels like evidence. Olivia made me an offer. We need to build an interim ethics office. Interested? With actual authority? I asked. Or I wouldn't be asking. Then maybe, I said. That night I went back to my townhouse. The porch was clean. The planter was straight. The doorbell was silent. I took off my shoes, turned on the lights, and for the first time in 3 months I didn't immediately check whether every window was locked. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. You were never crazy. I was before you. Thank you. Mia. A former analyst at Lattice House. The one who had abruptly resigned months earlier, and then became office gossip. She couldn't handle pressure, people had said. I sat down in the chair by the kitchen counter and stared at the message. So I wasn't the first. Vanessa had done this before. Maybe for Nolan. Maybe for the company. Maybe for herself. But this time there had been a difference. The cameras were on. The files were backed up. And I hadn't gone quiet so I could cry. I had gone quiet so I could record. I took the first sticky note and stuck it to my fridge with a magnet. Stop digging. Then I picked up a red marker and wrote 2 words underneath it. Too late. If this story kept you hooked, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Your support truly means a lot and helps this channel grow.